It's my pleasure to introduce Sergio Roffo, and when I first saw Sergio, he did an amazing demonstration at the Guild of Boston Painters, and I was amazed at how fast and he does such beautiful work. As you can see, he got all these great examples, and he's a generous fellow, so there's a drawing tonight for 2 of his prints. He gave us 3. We're saving a big one for our holiday gathering, because that's when we have a lot of people, so we'll spread them out a little bit. Sergio went to the Vesper George School, as some of you, Robin's nodding, and he studied with Robert Douglas Hunter. And I'm just like thrilled to be in the presence of someone who studied with Robert Douglas Hunter. I actually saw him demonstrate when he was still alive, and so he had a great teacher, and he's now beyond that. Now he's the master. And some of you have come, I know, signed up just because you heard it was Sergio's night. I think he has a lot of credentials, and so I'm going to just pass these around. He brought these, but we have to get them back because he doesn't have very many. So I'm going to pass them around, and you can read in more detail his bio, his artist bio, and his artist statements, and he can add and embellish anything that he wants you to know that I have forgotten. So pass a few of these around.
It's on my website.
And yes, and you can go to his website. But anyway, these are beautiful. Somebody wanted to buy one. So without further ado, I know we have a great crowd, and so thanks for coming out on a very windy night, and we really appreciate your being here. We'll probably do a short break in the middle, and you can get a chance to socialize then if you didn't before the meeting. So thank you for coming, and please greet Sergio.
Thank you for inviting me, Naomi. It's a pleasure to be here. I'll just tell you a couple of quick things before I start pushing some paint. I was born in Italy, came here when I was 7, right to New York, and then from New York to Boston, so I got a heavy Boston accent. I can't get rid of it. Okay, so here. I studied with Robert Douglas Hunter of Vesper George School of Art, along with other teachers, and I took illustration, life drawings, all kinds of stuff. And I became an illustrator, and I worked for about maybe 10 years as an illustrator, freelancing. I got 4 agents, one in New York and California, the corners of the country, and it kept me busy for a while. And then they were too demanding, so I decided to just go into fine art. They would call me at midnight, and I was raising 2 children, and hey, can you do this by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning? So I was up all night, I would deliver the work. This happened many times. And then they would say, oh, we decided to go with photography. So they still pay me, but then I said, they're too demanding, so I decided to just go fine art. And it was the best thing I ever did. When you love your work, you never have to work a day in your life, right? And you never retire either. Okay, so basically I use oil paints of like 5 different brands: Winsor & Newton, Gamblin, Rembrandt, Williamsburg, and a few others. But anyway, so I start always the same: warm, I go clockwise, warm to cool. Okay, they're always set up that way. And I use filberts. I use filbert brushes, natural hog hair, and then for my detail work I use pointed Kalinskis and Riggers, basically watercolor brushes, but I go through them like in a week they're gone, so I just keep buying brushes. But, the best tools to get the job done, that's what they would tell you as an illustrator. And I learned to master every medium, so that was good. Anyway, so I was a watercolor painter for many, many years when I lived in Brighton, and I did cityscapes all the time. You won't see them on my website. They're just, they go back a number of years. And so what I do is I work on location, plein air, 1114s, all the way up to 1020. After 1020, because I like to finish them on location. I like to do them all in one city, a la prima. And I really touch them up in my studio. Every once in a while I will, but I like to get as much information as possible on location, because then when I do the large ones in my studio, I'll set it up like there, and I'll just do a large one and sketch it all out. So that, and I tone down my canvases with just a natural wash of burnt sienna. And overnight, or it'll dry in a couple of hours. Very rarely I paint on a white canvas, because it kind of like, first of all, not that it blinds you, because you always face the sun when you're painting. You never the sun's behind you. Very rarely, so you always turn around so the sun's not hitting your canvas. So I tip them down with a burnt sienna, but when I paint on a white canvas, I find that the colors and the values are always applied darker, because you're going on a white surface, and then when you finish, the painting looks overexposed. So that's my feeling. But anyway, I'm going to try to finish this in, I sketched it up. This was a painting I did, and I'm just going to try to explain exactly how I did it, and I'll work very fast and try to finish it. I added a Herreshoff cat boat right there, so I'll try to do that. And what I like to do is work from the background to the foreground when I'm doing a demo or when I'm in my studio. When I'm on location, obviously, you got to fight the sun. It keeps moving and the shadows keep moving, so I block it all in. I'm all over the place when I do plein air. But over here, I'm going to work from the background, the sky, work to the foreground. Okay? All right, let's start. I use no mediums. I just use turp to wash my brushes and just kind of dampen them and then dry them up, okay? So I'm going to start with an ultramarine blue and white from the top of the sky. I mean cobalt, sorry. And ask any questions you want. And I'm going to go around the clouds.
Are you working on canvas or on board?
I'm working on a mounted canvas. Canvas on board. And it gets lighter as I come to the horizon, towards the bottom of the pan, it gets a little lighter. Right in between the clouds. The lighting's not that great, sorry to say, but
Yeah, we apologize.
that's all right. No, just,
Sergio, do you make it lighter by adding a little white as you go?
yes.
Okay.
And Sergio, is your sketch in pencil?
Yes, it is.
Do you seal the pencil before you paint? Or
Pardon?
do you seal the pencil?
No, I just sketch it right out.
So just that cobalt blue and white?
Cobalt blue, yes.
So what made you choose not to do the burnt sienna base?
It
It is burnt sienna.
is, yeah.
I think it's that light that's making it, the spotlight that's making it.
Yeah.
Can we turn that off?
What turn what on?
The spot that's over the view.
No, because if you, I think I do, because we tried it before I started. I just need as much light as
Yeah.
possible.
Unfortunately, this is not a theater.
All right, so now, I got my blue in, right, above the clouds. Now I'm going to go from the horizon up with some nice sort of sunset. The sun is setting. Okay, I'll just use another brush here, and I'll do a mixture of white, cat orange, cadmium yellow. to the horizon line. You use a lot of paint. A lot of paint.
You always start with a fresh palette, clean palette.
Yes. Well, when I'm in my studio, even when I'm on location, I'll clean the whole palette, but I still have the paints. They're all moist. They last about 3 or 4 days. They're wet. And, you know, if you're patient, this is going to, sometimes, you know, people get impatient, but the thing is, it's going to be a nice painting. But a lot of times, as artists, we often say, many times, oh, it's coming out really terrible. And you feel like throwing it away, you know. But you got to stick with it. You got to stick with it, because every once in a while you'll get a nice stroke down, and you'll keep coming back to it. Painting. Okay, so I got that there. Okay, a little more on this side. Yeah, a little. Let's see. A little cadmium red on this side, just make it a little brighter. Okay. Okay. I like to stay clean when I paint. I have friends that have paint all over me. I'm a clean painter. But that's all right. That's cool. Just lighten up the sky. It's gonna be. All right, now I'm going to add what I want to do first is, with this brush, it's a 1-inch soft brush. 1-inch soft brush, right there. Right. And I'm just going to very lightly just kind of blend. Just very lightly. And then I'm going to get another brush and start. I'm going to use ultramarine blue, cadmium violet, with a little burnt umber to tone it down a little bit. My try.
Do you use alizarin crimson on your palette?
Oh yeah. It's right there between the violet and the umber. Okay, a little white. I'll go through white, grays. So we'll get the sky down, and then I'll work the ocean. And then I'll do the boat, and work from the background to the foreground. Okay, here we go. A little blue, a little white, a little cobalt, a little violet, and a little burnt umber. Always test it out. You see how the contrast right there? So I'll just block it all in and then I'll refine it. Add a little more, keep adding more paint, a little more, violet, burnt umber, ultramarine, a little white. Normally, when I work large in my studio, I make all these, with the palette knife, I'll make big, little,
Yeah.
big puddles of color, so to speak. I'll make a lot of them, so I have to keep going, trying to find it. But I've been doing this for so long, I can just find it really quick. That's the key when you paint in nature, is to find the color really quick, because that sun moves. It's fast, you know? One more.
Sergio, I worked in a dental office about 20 years ago, and the first thing I saw every morning when I walked into the meeting room was one of your water television.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, they're all over the place, but that's all I used to do. That's great.
I loved it.
Thank you. It's getting there, right? Little by little. Sometimes it looks like a big mess, but then it all falls together. The key is to try to make it as natural as possible. You know, you don't want it to get spotty. More of that. Eliminate all the canvas. It's important too sometimes when you have a rough canvas, you're always like trying to fill all those little holes, you know? Okay, some has some darks. Sometimes there's different values on clouds, you know, so maybe some little dark one underneath there. Maybe one there and another one over here. Just the storm passing by, you know? All right, now I'm going to go with a little alizarin crimson. Adding that color that I just made, I'll go underneath here with just little clouds in the distance by the horizon. I'll drag the brush sometime, you know. Use the side of the brush. A lot of times, I'll always use a word or two. I'll go, and I want to make the big clouds. I'll just go right under here like. I can always go like this too. I'll always, sometimes I'll put a large stroke right over here. Just cover that right up. Blend it in right with the orange. Okay. Just leave it like that for now, huh? Just so we can move along. So, I'll get this brush again, right? The 1 inch,
Okay, this
the 1 inch flag, right? And I'll just go over it, blend it. Just to make it a little softer. But a lot of times when you do this, the dark will cover the light colors, and you gotta be careful. Very lightly, almost like, yeah, beautiful. Okay, that's good, I'm happy with that right now. So, and then, with the same brush I used to do the orange horizon line, horizon color, you can add some sort of light color shining on the clouds from the sun, Maybe like up here too.
So you're mixing tan and white?
What's that?
Oh, that's the orange and white?
Yeah, the orange and white. Just here and there, you get carried away with this stuff. Just a little bit.
When you originally started with the lighter blue and then went to the darker blue, was there a strategy of which one you did first?
You want to do the light blue first, and then do the dark clouds on top of that. These clouds right here. Yeah, you do the blue, the light blue first. I mean, there's no rule. You could do whatever, You could do it your way and make it work. Everybody has their own way. I like to work from sometimes light to dark and sometimes dark to light, There's no rule. Every artist has, they'll try to teach you their rule, but it doesn't matter. It's whatever you want to do, whatever you're comfortable with, you do it, you make it work. Okay? Beautiful. All right. I like that. Now I'm going to work the ocean. It's a whole other ballgame here, too. Water's hard. Everything's hard. Painting's hard. Painting's hard. Boats are hard. Boats are hard. Boats are really hard. They have to be accurate. Okay, I'm going to sort of work with one of these small filters. Right there. Little filter. Number one filter. It's I use Kalish brushes. I've been using them for years. Does anyone know Kalish brushes at all?
No.
It's years ago I used to use them, and I still do. The parents, it's a mom and pop store in New Jersey. They passed, and daughter took over the business. And I don't know how much she handles the business, but every time I order brushes, it seems like they're backed up, they don't have any more, she has to call London to get them, I don't know.
How do you spell it?
With a K, Kalish. But they're wonderful. All right, a little cobalt. A little cobalt, a little white. A little touch of ultramarine. And a little yellow ochre. Just a dab of yellow ochre. Let's see what that does. Yeah, nice. Because this is supposed to be a sunset, sort of sunset scene. And the water's going to be a little dark.
Did you do the original plein air?
No.
Oh,
The original was plein air, and then I did the large one in my studio.
right, but you did, okay.
Yeah, I did the original, yes. So when you do, seascapes and coastal scenes, that's what I really do, coastal scenes. You have to keep the horizon line really straight and soft. I like to keep them soft. But first I'll follow that line, and then I'll soften it up. Right now it's a hard edge, but I'll soften it up.
Do you ever use a palette
No, just the blend. Okay, so I'll go around this boat, the cat boat. I had an 18 Marshall Sanderling, which is a cat boat. Anyone familiar with those cat boats? They're all gaff rigged, but they're white cat boats. It's called an 18 Marshall Sanderling. They're really classic.
Is it a catamaran?
No, cat boats is just the name of these small boats that have a gaff rig.
We like to do relaxing sails in the house.
So I bought one just to learn how to draw it and sail it. It's great. So I took sailing lessons, but I was terrible. My family didn't come with me. They were afraid. So we just used it to sit on it and have cocktails, which was great. We called it the Catboat Cafe.
Yeah. Where'd you sail it?
Situate Harbor. And then we finally sold it. So. Okay, so I'm going to go on the boat. The boat's on a heel right now. Heel means it's like really tipping over. Okay. So as it comes towards the shoreline, I'm going to make it a little lighter and a little more turquoisey. If such a word. I love this guy. And the boat's going to have a reflection right here. And I'm going to add more color to this water. This is just the base, okay? This is just the base.
It seems dark. Your water seems very dark.
Well, it's reflecting the sky, and it's when the sun's going down, it's kind of dark.
Yeah. What colors?
I've seen waters with different varieties of color, like people would say, the water's not like that color.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure you've all seen it.
See the sky. What colors did you use again?
Ultramarine, a little dab of ultramarine, cobalt, and yellow ochre,
Yeah.
just to get it a little greener, you know? And white.
Did you know that? Did you use more yellow ochre in this last bit?
Say again?
Did you use more yellow ochre in this last bit?
Yeah, I want to lighten it up as it comes to the shoreline. And it's shallow, so sometimes when it's shallow, you'll see the sand too, which right now, if I just put a little orange in there, it'll lighten it up a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to try to blend that in the back, the horizon line, just because, you know, you don't want a hard edge. So let me see if I can do that really. This is soft. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Are you taking off color or putting on color?
I don't have any color on my brush. I'm just going over the color I applied. Go back to get my little brush and go back to my color over here. More over here. The key is to keep it straight. You want it straight, nice and straight, so it looks professional, you know? Okay, now, with another little brush here, a rigger, I'm going to make a little darker horizon line. You know, the water's going to be a little darker. So I'll use that same color, cobalt, ultramarine, and a little burnt umber with it. So it's almost like a gradation of, I want to blend it again too, to keep it soft. Just to keep it soft.
For people who don't know what a rigger is, do you want to tell
Yeah,
them?
a rigger is, it's a watercolor brush and it's about 2 inches long. And it's very thin, continuous width all along, and it makes a continuous line all along, like trees, tips of trees and things like that, you know, poles, whatever.
And it was used for doing the rigging on paint on ships and boats.
That's true, yes.
And with this, that shape holds a lot more paint or something?
I'm not sure, it might. I know I thin it down with oil, with a turpentine when I use it, and it just goes a long way, you know. Okay, that's looking good. Okay. All right, I'm gonna lighten this up and then I'm gonna start making some waves and then I'll do the boat. A lot of times too, a lot of times I'll just drag the brush. You know, it's a quick way to make waves, but just a little shortcut. Okay. All right, let me put these down. I'll make some waves. Let me mix it. A little bigger.
You're still working watercolor, or are you doing oil?
No, I just stick with oils. I'll add a little green to
And you
this.
switched because,
I switched because I needed to make more money. Basically, I was raising a family, and my large watercolor sheets were, I forget what they were, 30 by 30, what are they now? 15, 30, how big is a watercolor sheet? 20 by, something like that? Then I have a larger one, 40 or something. Arches, thick arches, and Fabiano. Do they still have Fabiano? Yeah, so I made the transition because I would sell like a large watercolor at the most, $4,000 at the time. And then when I switched to oil, it just jumped up to like 15,000 and 20,000. So, you know, it's to make a living, you know. And, okay, so I'm going to make some waves here coming to the shore. Maybe one right behind the catboat to start. you know, water takes time because you got to fiddle in the middle, you know. And then you got to do little waves. Then I'll add some white caps too. Okay. Good. You got your little ones here and there. I'm working really fast, so there's no time to think, you just apply. Okay? Just apply. I have a solo show on Nantucket next season.
What?
Next, we haven't finalized the day yet, but probably July or August. Solo show.
Oh, sorry.
And a Quigley Company. So this is a very choppy scene. And then I'll just kind of like make smaller waves and they'll just blend and fade away to infinity. That's why the distant shoreline is dark, the distant horizon line is dark, because optically it's just a bunch of little waves. The waves here and there, right? Okay. All just with the rigger, right? Just the tip of the rigger. All right. Let's add a little white caps. Like the shoreline here, it's going to be a little wave. Maybe there's a little, like the bottom of the boat, there's always a little white cap. Very choppy. All right, let's work on the boat real quick. Maybe we can, maybe a couple of distance.
What regions sort of have, I would call it a specialty
Pardon?
boats? So my boat is too, so I'm very intrigued, and they also make boats that are really hard.
Because I do a lot of coastal scenes.
I mean, just, because you,
They intrigue me.
your thing there with the sailing boats, very traditional designs, sailing boats underway and all that, they're just, they're classic, the way they've done it.
I do a lot of the, if you look at my website, the Opera House Cup races from Nantucket, all these classic boats.
Oh, okay, all right.
So I got intrigued by them, so I do a lot of those.
Yeah, I saw that.
I get on the media boat or I rent a boat and I go behind them and do all the drills, photography. It's pretty cool.
Make her sleep.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. a few more ways in this. Okay, I'll put these down. Just put them right there. Let's do the boat. Okay, so I'll start with the hull. It's going to be white. It's going to have a touch of orange there because it's reflecting from the sun's going by, and it's going to reflect a little orange on that bow. But I'll start with white first, and then add some color on it. Very carefully. Add a little orange over there. And leave it white at the stern. White is usually, it's a cool color. Until you add yellow and orange and stuff like that to it to make it warm. Okay, the stern is going to be kind of the same color as the sky, but I wanted maybe darker than the water, so let's try it. Alizarin crimson. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. It's so small until we come up to it, you know. Let's make it lighter. I don't like it dark. I'll try to make it lighter.
Keith has done a nice job of zooming in.
Yeah, that's good.
Keep it light. Okay. Sometimes it's, you don't know whether to do it light or dark.
Right, well, it's in the shadow.
You know? So we'll keep it dark underneath. Right here. And then there's the rudder, which the rudder will make it nice and light. Right there, just a little speck of white. And then the bottom of the boat, we'll just get a nice bright color. We'll do permanent green light, a little cobalt. Okay. All right. Let's put a yellow raincoat on the guy. Just a little yellow raincoat right there. Just darken his hair, nice black head. There, just like that. Okay. And then the rigger again. The edge of the boat, which is wood. I'll just use burnt sienna. With a little bit of umber, just to give it a nice edge. That's too big of a brush. I have a thin rigger. Let's see, right there. Okay. That's nice and thin. I'll use that.
Can you add more turpentine to be able to spread it?
I did. See the boat? Can you see it? See it, right? It's okay. All right, let's do the sail. I'm going to use alizarin crimson. You think of alizarin crimson? First sienna, lighten it down a little bit. Add a little burnt umber. And there's another one right here. I covered the guy right up. Covered him right up. I love it. Okay. All right, so this, I'm going to lighten this up over here on this side by adding a little orange. It's always a little lighter from the sun there. Let me see if that works. Yeah, that works. And now just blend that right up, right? Yeah.
Did you go for that color cell as opposed to a white cell? Would that be more interesting?
Say again?
Did you pick the colored sail, those colored sails as opposed to the white? Because you thought the color would be more interesting?
Maybe. Sometimes I use white though. So I mean, yeah, right there's the white sail.
Yeah, I know, that's what, most sails are white.
I want
The traditional ones have the sort
Have you
of.
seen the hair shops with the red sails though?
Yeah, it seems like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, I like to add color. Let's add a little bright. Brighten that up for the sun, huh? Right there. And then it'll be darker by the mast. We'll leave that like that. Lighten it up over here too. Okay, and we'll add the, we'll add the guy too. You can't have a boat without saying it without name on it. And then you get this, the peak that comes down over here. Okay. Okay. All right, let's have the guy in. Let's find him again.
You sure it's the same guy?
I fell overboard. All right, let's put him in there. I'll brighten up the jacket just so we can see him. Yeah. There's the little black hat. And then maybe a hat on with that. There you go. Whatever, that's fine. Okay, let's have the rigging. The rigging, a couple of white lines. One's going to go over here, just a little exaggerated, but this is how it usually goes. One.
We had a question from somebody who's shy. How do you hang your brush pouch on the side? It looks like
Just
clips.
clips, just clips.
The black clips.
I think, Just regular clips. All right, now I'm going to do the shoreline. Actually, I need to do the mast, sorry. Just, I didn't bring my maul stick, that's okay. Straight stick. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Perfect.
You should demonstrate that again after you do it to show us how we did it on the video.
This right here?
You can't see it on the video, but when you get done, show us how you did it.
Okay, so I'm going to go like this. Hold my hand right here and go right down on this. I'm going to let the maul stick guide me. That really doesn't show it. I'll use a dark color. Doesn't really do it that well. Okay.
Sergio, we're going to be taking a 10-15-minute break. Sergio said he may just continue painting. So the hospitality table is open.
Yeah, the grass and some those are the rows.
Sergio, we've got about 25 minutes.
Okay, good.
Are you using a watercolor brush?
Yes. This will go quick. This is the sloping dune. Right. Here. Let's do the foliage. I'm going to use some greenish umber. Greenish umber is a dark sort of green, just what it says, greenish umber. Probably a sap green with some burnt umber. You can mix it, but I like to get it right out of the tube. I try to, if you can find a color right out of the tube, by all means, just use it. Because when you're in nature, it's much quicker to just get it right out of the tube, if it works. If it works.
So it's called green.
Greenish umber by Rembrandt. Right? So I'll just mix a series of greens together, just so, keep them dark. I'll just do dabs of, I'm going to work quick here, so I'll do sort of a dark value, but not the darkest value. And again, if I had time, I would. Olive green. Olive green is a great color, isn't it? Always in the slope, goes the contour of the slope, you know. The strokes should go the same contour as the slope. Okay, it's getting there. I'll keep it simple with less detail. Maybe a few darks here, a few more darks there. Maybe a couple of darks over here, just away from the detach it, you know. I'm going to grab the seagrass.
Yes, sir.
I'll go around the fence post.
What green is that?
The same, it's, I added a little a cadmium green pale with it. Basically, I'm using olive green, permanent green light, cadmium green pale, and greenish umber. Those are the 4 greens that I have. And I'm kind of using them all.
Who makes those greens here?
Are the other ones? No. I'll show you when I'm attached there. I'll use the side of the brush to just drag some grass. Okay, and I'll add some darks at the base. Just to give it some little base. Maybe a little burnt sienna. Maybe a little more. Okay, let's add a few roses, white, with the alizarin crimson, maybe one up here, another one there. You can get carried away with these things. You know, they'll be all over the place if you don't stop. You'll have to stop. Just that's it. I'll stop right there. And maybe some yellow golden rods, maybe. Things over here. Okay, let's make the fence. Fence, nice dark post. Her number, Rossiana. I'll cover that whole notice.
post on the ground. Some of it is buried in sand, so.
So what I'll do is I'll add some glue in between here. There's a hole here, right there. And then there's another hole right here. Let's do this. Let's add some light on the fence. A little light over here. A little more light right here on top of this fence. Wait.